wants to marry a virgin. Even though he should be a virgin. Get real quiet in church now. I was standing there teaching over there. Now, this man feel like every time he lay down with you, he in competition with your past. Y'all act like this ain't nothing. They got a movie out right now. Girl going back and she done messed around with 19 dudes. Ain't the movie called 19 or something like that? Okay, y'all ain't up on that movie. But when you take what God intended for you to only share with one individual, and you give everybody a piece of that, there is nothing special, nothing that connects.
All right now.
Watch this. Go back and make this spiritual for you. Watch what he says. Verse 17. First of all, let's end at the verse 16. When you join yourself to a harlot, the two, he says, shall become one. But he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit. Then he says, flee fornication. He says, run away from sex before marriage. Because every sin that a man doeth is without the body. But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. Lord have mercy. Did he just not say, you better watch out for them STDs? Y'all missed that one. Paul talking about stuff that's going on in the Bible that he said, if you stay away from premarital sex, you ain't got to get tested. We got commercials talking about rapid. Go get tested. You don't have to get tested if you ain't never dipped in the water. You don't have to get tested if you've never crossed that line and you're waiting on marriage. And all the time I look at the commercials, it's always us. Y'all see, y'all ain't trying to hear that today. But Paul says, this is one of the only sins happen between a man and a woman. There should be a spiritual connection between a man and a woman. There should be an emotional connection. Listen, there should be 3 connections between a man and a woman. And then there should be an entering of a covenant of relationship before there's any physical contact. Y'all ain't trying to hear that one. Because some of us didn't do it in that order. Some of us did the physical, no, let me go. First we did the eye candy. It looked good, so I had to have it. We had no emotional contact. We had no spiritual contact. And mentally, we barely knew the person's name. But we had a physical relationship. And when you build your marriage or your relationship on physical, it will always fail because in a marriage, the physical part of the relationship is the first part to leave. If you don't establish the emotional, if you don't establish the mental and the spiritual part of a covenant relationship, your marriage is already doomed from the beginning. Y'all ain't trying to hear that kind of talk today. But I just have to let you know, especially to those now that are searching for someone. I know we've been having dating classes here, and we've been telling people how to date on a Christian relationship. Women, men, let me tell you something. Rule number 1, if you want to find the person you're looking for, stop telling them what you're looking for. If you tell the person what you're looking for, they try to become that because they're searching after something else. Oh, you're looking for a Christian man. Okay, I ain't been to church in 12 years, but I'll show up today. And he'll come and sit beside you and worship. You get all, that he remember his grandmama singing in the kitchen. Man ain't been to church, don't know spiritual from this, but he fooled you. He even let you come. Where you gonna get married? At the church. He come into the church, his tux is smoking while he's standing up here. Preacher fanning and stuff. What's going on with all this? He hollering a hooker in church, right? Y'all listen to me what I'm trying to tell you. You walking down the aisle thinking God done sent you this man and you just a stepping and doing all this other stuff. Then once you say I do, he'll never come back to church. Now he's sitting on the couch and you arguing with him every Sunday because you told him what you were looking for instead of letting him be the man that God made him be. See, I keep trying to tell y'all, we don't have time to be dating people representatives. Don't tell people what you're looking for. Let them be that, and if it ain't what you're looking for, you throw them the... Women, statistically, women have fell in love 15 times before they married the guy they with. Y'all ready? Your puppy dog love, your first love, your college love, your high school love, your when you was in the club love. See, y'all ain't trying to, you done had a whole bunch of loves before you married that dude. And now you say, oh, you're the only one I want to be. What about them other 15 dudes? Men on normal, we fall in love 4 times. You know why that is? Because women have an emotional attached to men faster than, women are usually the first ones in the relationship to say, I love you. A man will get choked up. Do what? You like me? Watch this. Hold on, I ain't done with this lesson. Turn with me real quick to 1 Corinthians chapter 6. I'm about to get really deep in this, and I'm going to let this lesson be yours. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 15, Paul does a very excellent job on explaining to us the connection of sex in a relationship. First of all, he says, know ye not that your bodies are the members of Christ? Shall I then take the members of Christ and make them members of a harlot? He says, God forbid. Then he turns around and says, what? Pretty much he says, you didn't know when you are joined to a harlot, it is one body. For the two, he said, shall be one flesh. Let me stop here for just a second for a commercial timeout. You know, one of the reasons, and I know you might not find this in any whatever statistic book, but spiritually, in America, one of the reasons why marriages are failing is because people don't realize that the sexual connection makes you one with that person who you first gave it to. That's why when young women and young men, we use the term today, oh, he's sprung. Y'all ain't hear that. Let me go this side. When you turn around and say he's or she's sprung, when you look at that term, more than likely, this person for the first time has explored some sexual ramifications of which they should not have been in because they were not mentally, spiritually, or emotionally ready to do it, but they did it anyway. And that's why when the person that you first give that purest thing to, when you break up with them, it feels more like a divorce than a breakup. Y'all didn't hear me on that one. Because when you shared something with them that was so pure, that was supposed to be given in a marriage covenant, you gave it up to somebody else. When you broke up with them, it hurt so bad, you wanted to kill yourself, you wanted to kill them, you wanted to make sure nobody else was with them because you gave them something that God intended for a man and a woman First of all, let me go here, because some of y'all looking at me strange. Again, if our young people don't hear it here, they are most definitely being educated in the streets. And the streets are telling them to have safe sex. And the Bible lets us know the only safe sex to have is when you are married. When you are not married, there's no such thing as you have marital bliss or whatever. And then you turn around. Watch this. Some of y'all have been there. And you tell the man, I don't like it like this.